Yo, 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 what's good, YouTube? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back welcoming you to the post-fight show with Stormybman for this Saturday, May 14th, 2022. We in the building, man. We had a wonderful fight card this evening where we saw tons of action, and hey, there's no other way to say it, but we finally got an undisputed champion out of tonight's main event. So we'll talk about that. It's amazing that we are able to do that, because it's been a difficult path getting to that place in boxing where we can have undisputed at 154 pounds. So with that being said, welcome everybody that's out there, man. Smash that like button as you come into the building. We're going to talk about it a little bit. And there was another card that took place, but we won't touch on that. Maybe I'll go over that tomorrow at some point during the call-in show. And we'll see, what we can do as far as that. But hey, man, what a night of boxing, huh? Smash that like button as you come into the building, man. We're going to talk about this and kind of rejoice over getting the most out of what we could get for these two combatants that faced off against each other tonight. That was Shareable Charlo and Brian Castano facing each other for the second time for undisputed. The first fight ended in a draw, had back and forth action. People on both sides thought that their man won. So tonight's fight was a definitive ending fight that showed one's level over the other. And that's great, because that's what we ask for in the sport of boxing. Sometimes you can edge something out. Sometimes you can be right there neck and neck. And then other times, yet and still, you can provide a greater divide of what I like to say separation between you and the opponent. And that's what we saw this evening. That's what we saw. And it was like entertaining, man, engaging, huh? Because sometimes guys are not willing to go where these two men went tonight. And you could tell that they were trying their best to do their thing, trying their best to see who was superior. And we, the fans, were awarded with a tremendous fight. This fight will go down in history as one of those to look back upon, because the action was so lit, throughout. And we couldn't have asked for more, huh? We got a stoppage out of it. We got knockdowns out of it. We got jaw-jarring blows that took place throughout. Both men were able to show their resolve. They were able to show what they were made of. And then in the end, there was class shown between both, and respect shown between both fighters. So that's always good for the sport. I'm a huge advocate of that. I have some comments that I would like to make on that particular note, but we can get right down to the action that was, huh? Yeah, get down to the action that was. We're going to do a little bit of a roll call first, though. I want to kind of say hello to who's in the building. I have to pull my other screen up so I can see you all very well. Even though I put my eyes on, I still want to be able to check you guys out. I want to say a special greeting and hello to a good friend of mine out there. Nan, I see you out there. Yeah. But hey, what we got. Oh, that's not the right one. Let me turn that off. There we go. Now I'm going to get on up here and pull up my chat. This new laptop affords me the luxury of pulling the chat up on a large screen so I can see you guys. You know, these old eyes of Stormies, huh? Got to be able to see who we got in the building. First off, from the beginning, we got William Old School Arden out there saying, Stormy B-Man, salute my brother. Jeff, the producer, in the building saying, Storm. Dwayne Jones saying, bless up from the mighty ATL. Antonio Hambrick saying, salute Sensei. Young World is back saying, yo, salute Big Storm. Salute to the chat. Happy fight night to you all. On the mic with Terrence Bailey is out there saying, sup. Jeff, the producer, in the building saying, hell of a fight. And Alvin Davis is back saying, salute Stormy B-Man in chat using those channel emojis. I appreciate that, Alvin. Always glad to see when you guys use the channel emojis out there. Anthony Bolton is back saying salute. KG84 is out there saying salute Sensei and chat family. Perfect Timing 13 saying salute. Successful Hustler in the building saying salute Stormy and chat. Charlo pound for pound list worthy. Now all tough fights on his ride to Undisputed. Rasheed Rourke in the building saying, peace, my brother Stormy B-Man. William Old School Arden's out there saying, Rasheed Rourke, salute. And let's see, 88 Sports Talk has joined us saying, Stormy B-Man, salute family, salute back to you. J. Wayne Citizen in the building saying, Stormy B-Man, salute. Brown on Boxing is back saying, salute Stormy B-Man. Mansa Musa is back saying, salute Sensei. Flawless Mentality. Dr. Mark is out there in the building saying, salute to the gods, Stormy B-Man, the Sensei fam, and the gods and beautiful goddesses of the post-fight family. J. Wayne Citizen saying, great fight. Props to both men. Rourke says, the ref was terrible. Brown on Boxing says it was a great fight. Shamar Rashawn Shalom saying, salute to Stormy B. Windy City Assassin back saying, salute Stormy B-Man, male top 3 pound for pound. There we go. Raw Sportsman Lee saying, salute Stormy in chat. Eric R is back saying, excellent fights. Salute at Stormy B-Man. G5 Gabe in the building saying, salute Sensei at Stormy B-Man and the chat family. And 88 Sports Talk back with us saying, William Old School, salute family. And Box T. Ja is out there saying salute. Got a few people in here that are writing in the chat for the first time. Shakers and Dice back saying peace OG. Blessings to the chat. G5 says it's a great fight using them channel emojis. There you go. And 704 Joe. Ain't seen you in a minute. 704 Joe saying, Sensei, what's good with you? Land of the 216 is out there as well saying salute Stormy in chat. The Boxing Kings Archives has come back saying, salute Stormy. Great fight. It's not over for Castano. That dude got a chin like a brick. Yeah, he got hit on the temple, man. That's, you know, you could have a great chin, but just like Pai Mei, there's a weak spot somewhere. Dudes just got to find it. That's what that's all about. Got to find that weak spot, man. You find the weak spot, then you can get him out of there. You know what I mean? You can get him out of there when you find that weak spot. Yeah. So, you know, let that be a lesson to the wise, you know. Jeff, the producer, says smash the like button. 88 says Jamel Charlo really jabbed and did great body work. Broke Castano so he couldn't take that power late. Yeah, he listened to Derek James this time, huh? But you could see there was a very fine line between he doing what he's supposed to do and had he not done what he's supposed to do, he was going to have a problem. And that's why I said this fight might not go the way you think it's going to go. It's all contingent on who's the smarter guy. Mel turned out to be not only the superior athletic guy out there who was more versatile, but he proved to have the better ring IQ. He did, because he utilized his boxing skills, his tools, and he also used his smarts, because there were moments in the fight he tied up Castano, and that was something that I wasn't expecting to see. I wasn't expecting to see him go in for clinches, and there were moments when he did that throughout the fight just to break Castano up. See, some people think that that's a show of weakness, but it tactically and utilized properly in the fight, you can make the guy reset. You can throw off his rhythm. You can get him out of that mode of when he was just getting ready to do something. Now he has to start all over again. That's what it is. It's not holding and holding and holding, but you tie a guy up, walk him backwards, let the ref separate you, and he got to restart. Huh? How many times have you been driving in traffic and somebody in front of you keep pumping the brakes, and you got to pump your brakes and slow down? And you be like, man, why don't you just coast to a stop or whatever? Why you keep pumping your brakes, pumping your brakes, pumping your brakes? You know, they disrupt the rhythm of your driving, and it drives you crazy, doesn't it? Yeah, it's the same principle there in boxing. Yeah, absolutely. Who else we got? We got a couple people. Rashid says, we need a thunderous pound for pound at Stormy B, man. There's been fighters moving up and down and off the list. You're right. And I just put together my thunderous pound for pound. So this coming Friday, it will debut. It hasn't been for a few months, but it'll bringing it back this coming Friday. I almost did it last night, but I wanted to wait to the end of this fight to see. So next week, you'll see that new list. Yeah. Shakers and Dice says, facts. Brown on Boxing says he listened to his coach and got the knockout. And let's see. Sheena's in the building. Salute to you, Sheena. She says, salute Stormy B, man. And Rashid is agreeing that it was a smart tactic that Mel tied the guy up. 88 says he didn't allow Castano to keep him on the ropes, and he kept jabbing, then turned up out of there. Yeah. But to be honest, Castano didn't use his jab as much as he should have. And that's the difference in the fight. I said the smarter guy, the guy who makes the proper adjustments. And on this night, that was Mel. He was 100% the guy who made the proper adjustments to get. But you could tell that Castano came to fight and he wanted to trade and exchange. But Mel exchanged smartly. He had the faster hands, so he got his pound of flesh and got the hell up out of there. But there were a couple moments where he caught something and it was like, okay, I definitely don't want to stay in here, you know. But that's how boxing goes. You know what I mean? Not the toughest guy always wins. It's the smartest guy, you know. So that's what happens. That's what happens. We got some more people falling into the building. No More Champagne is out there saying it was smart, making him reset every time. Brown on Boxing says Charlo was extremely focused. Stick and Move is out there saying, I noticed Charlo and Castano took a break in round 7. I genuinely thought Castano was going to turn-ish up, but as soon as Mel decided to box, it was all over. Sheena says, peace to you, Rashid. T. Berry is out there saying, Stormy B-Man in chat, salute. And Sylvestra is back saying, Stormy B-Man salutes. Congratulations, Jamel Charlo. Masterclass performance. Way better performance this time from Charlo. He has improved. So, the action in this fight was turned up from the first fight. And these men fought a way that kind of puts you in mind. It's like a tale of two different stories, right? From the first fight to the second fight. But that's what happens when you get quality matchups like this and the guys do their thing. I really like the performances by both men, and they gave us some real great action. I mean, they really did. These two men fought, and they gave effort. But what I noticed about Mel early on was that he was prepared to go in there and box, and give as much an effort as he could on his terms. And that was very smart. Very smart by he to go out there and perform like that. Sometimes when a fighter is in that type of mode, they can fight all night long because they're relaxed. They're doing what they need to do to be effective, and your punches flow better. You could think better under fire. It's like there's no pressure. But you did hear him say in the post-fight interview in the ring, he said like it felt like it was his first fight because he realized what the stakes were. This is what happens. And this is not a negative thing at all. I salute Mel for being honest in his assessment and very revealing in what he felt, because I want guys to understand this. This is what happens when quality meets quality. You can fight a series of guys that on paper you're supposed to defeat, that you're favored. But no one really knew who was going to win this fight, particularly because of the first outcome. Now, those of you who said, well, I had picked Mel all along, it could have just gone the other way. That these two men were the class of the division. And what happens in this, again, there becomes a fine line between, doing what's necessary to be victorious, taking the necessary risks, and also being smart about what you're doing. Processing a lot of information at the same time. When you are not, the saving grace for Mel is, I believe he has fought the better opposition than Castano. And I believe if Castano had fought some of the opposition that Mel fought, with the exception of maybe Tony Harrison, he could have still had success. But Mel has had also an opportunity to see what a loss is like and know the taste of defeat and know that he don't want that again. You see? So going into this, yes, he amped up his focus. Yes, he amped up his ability to listen to his trainer and everything because of the stakes. This is why when you lose a fight and you have to come back and you have to persevere, you have to overcome, you have to decide within yourself, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to keep going? Because on paper, those guys you've defeated that you were supposed to defeat, that's a shoo-in. But when it's someone who's really going to challenge you, someone who's going to give you a reason to say, I must go on, or I think I've come to the end of the road. That's what we witnessed tonight. And that's why he went to a level that Castano couldn't get to, because he knows that path now. He knows it. So it allowed him the opportunity to go out there and take victory. Take victory. If he had never lost to Harrison, he could have lost this fight or the one before. You see? But those are the kind of things, again, boxing 101, the lessons that can be learned out of matches, the lessons that can be learned out of fighting quality opposition and solving and resolving problems. It's just like in life. You understand? Everything is not going to be laid before you in life. You are sometimes going to have to find a new way, because a door may close, a path may have a detour, and you have to decide exactly what is it you're going to do about it. That's something that people don't think about, and when it happens, some people can get flustered, frustrated, act out, But Mel handled it tonight. He handled his business. So hats off to him for doing what he had to do. And hats off to him becoming the first undisputed 154-pounder super welterweight, junior middleweight champion in history. That's history for him. And if you look at his face when the fight was over, it hadn't even hit him, but he felt something. It was like he had a blank look on his face. I never saw that look on Mel Charlo's face. You usually have a scowl or something or whatever. He had a look on his face like he was kind of astonished. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully he can enjoy this. And, his kids and family, they can embrace him. You understand? Support him and love him for what is accomplished, because he really did something. He did something. And he had a partner in there worthy to challenge and test the mettle. That's the other thing. You have someone who can ask you the questions, and you don't know until that time comes. And he had the answers, Derek James did a great job with him. Did a great job. When a person is successful and do the thing that they should do, that they need to do, that you would like to see them do, give them the accolades, give them the credit for it. You have to take your hat off and salute. Even if it's somebody you don't like, you still have to give the respect. Because it is better for someone who has gone through and had the opportunity and seized the moment than someone who sat back and never did anything, didn't accomplish, and who knows whatever. It was a tremendous bout by both men. As I scored rounds, I was having a hard time scoring certain rounds because though Mel was moving in boxing, the pressure that Castano was putting on was effective pressure, and they were exchanging in certain moments, and it's like, okay, but which were the telling shots? Which were the ones being blocked? Because just because somebody's getting off, that doesn't mean everything is landed. And I'm glad we had a true ending to the fight where it didn't have to go to judges, where someone, that you feel should have won, didn't win, and things like that. And, there was a finale. Yeah, Jose Diaz. I did say that, and I talk about that. But you build the blocks to a knockout. You do. What Mel was able to do to Castano that he wasn't able to do the first time around, he boxed. And off of his boxing, the knockout came. It was a punch that Castano didn't even see. That short left hook. Oh my goodness, that was a short left hook. And when you throw punches that are precise, accurate, they don't always have to be loaded up. They don't always have to be the biggest of a bomb that you can execute. Sometimes just a little shoulder and hip and waist into it is just enough. That punch that dropped Castano the first time was nowhere near the hardest punch that Mel threw in the fight. Nowhere near. But it came off so natural because he had been letting his hands go in combination. If you go back and watch this fight, watch the combinations that the kid was throwing. When he was loading up and throwing bombs, he was missing. But when he threw combinations, and we like to call it running the numbers, when he was running the numbers, boom, 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 they were like, 2 or 3 was landing, where when he was loading up, only one might land or miss totally. You see? Great stuff, man. Great stuff. I want to go back. A couple more people have fallen into the building. Let's see who we got. We got Welcome Down Ram, Big Steppin' in the building. See you out there. Devin Blockers out there. Drew Titan, LLC is in the building. Salute to you, Drew, my man. Let's see who else we got. Dale.Riv is out there. That's a new face. Eric R is out there saying congratulations to Charlo, the king of the toughest division in boxing. Sheena saying it's true, Stormy B-Man 100. Let's see who else we got. Watcher is in the building. He's saying salute to everyone. Salute to you, Watcher. Good to see you out there, brother. Dre Finest is saying facts. Let's see. Dank Father's in the building saying salute, OG. Salute to you. Right back at you. And I think I'm caught up on the people that was falling into the building. Smash that like button, people. Please. Smash that like button. But I'll tell you something, man. The great point of this all is that the effort that both men gave. There was no dogging it in this fight. Both men, they took some punches from each other. Castano does have a good chin. Mel has a good chin. These guys were banging at some points in this fight, man. And what was interesting was this. During the exchanges, when they would mix it up from time to time, because it happened throughout the bout, right? That someone would decide. In one instance, it might have been Castano. In another instance, it may have been Mel. But someone was smart enough to say, I better not stay in there too long. It's like, that was really fun to watch. Because you don't get sloppy, huh? You don't hang in there forever, huh? You don't. Some people stick their hand in the cookie jar and they feel like, well, I don't want the one on top. I want to reach for the one way in the back, huh? And then the lid close on your hand and then you get caught with your hand in the cookie jar, huh? And both of these men were smart enough not to do that. I do believe, though, Castano's shortcoming was the lack of a good jab. You see, having a good jab means so much in the sport of boxing. It doesn't matter if you're the shorter guy, the taller guy, the more athletic, the less athletic. It doesn't matter. A jab is to be utilized to allow other things to take place. And the lack of a jab really hurt him in this fight. he jabbed at times, but he didn't jab with impunity. He didn't jab with, like, regardless of what, I'm going to stick this jab in your craw. Huh? Mel did. And that's what opened the fight up for him. 1,000%. So when you guys look at these boxing matches, you know, of course, you're going to look at the big punches and you want to see, oh, that blow almost knocked his head into the 5th row and all of that. Please. That's easy to see. Watch the use of a jab. Watch what it opens up. Watch how it gives someone an advantage. Yeah. You see, that's what happens. Salute to Ismail Diaz out there. Just subscribe to the channel. I hope that you enjoy being a subscriber to the Stormybman channel. Here we try to bring it to you the best that we can. Welcome. William says, Jose Diaz, I'm not going to lie. I was nervous for Mel. I agreed with Stormybman last night when he talked about could Mel figure Castano out and win. Jose says, take him out, Stormy. You're so correct. Don't leave it to the judges. Yeah, man. Man, that's what I'm talking about. I see the likes is already up over 100. I appreciate you guys for smashing the like button as you come in. This is how we try to talk about this sport, man. Give it to you, correctly and down. Now, let's talk about the cornermen, too. Derrick James has to be given credit. He has to be given credit. If Ed Reynoso can be awarded Trainer of the Year multiple times over for Canelo in fights that look more like setups than anything, this man has 2 nearly undisputed champions in his camp. Earl Spence is 1 championship belt away from undisputed. Derrick James got to get his credit, people. The next time somebody say something about Eddie Reynoso, it better be linked to cheating, PD usage, problems in the camp, and unsavory actions with judges and everything to help him and his fighters along the way, and sanctioning bodies. These men are over here doing it, sticking their feet and their hands in the sticks, in the mud, getting it. And they need to be acknowledged for their accomplishments. It's time that people stand up and say the right things for the right people. Again, you don't have to like someone to acknowledge the job that they do. And some of you have a bias based on appearance. Just that simple. Just that simple. And that's your shortcoming, not the others. Did you not hear Castano, when the fight was over, tell Mel in there in front of Jim Gray and the microphones that were on and everything, that, hey, all that talk before the fight was just building up the fight and everything? He's like, I respect you. You're a real champion. I respect you. And then Mel said the same and raised his hand up and said, hey, man, you're a champion too. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. That is class in the sport, people. And some of you out there that are supporters of fighters, you need to take note when something serious happens like that, because that's the world. That's the way the world should be. That's the example for you. Now you can sit back in your own domicile and have your bigoted and your prejudiced angles, views on things in life. But as soon as you step outside your doors, leave that crap at home, because you reserve the right to live how you live in your household. But you go out into the world and the world is ready to kick you in your pants. There were people screaming at the press conferences and the weigh-ins and saying certain things that were very unsavory and not representing these men on both sides. But see, it takes two men to go to war like they did to build that point of understanding and having a respect, because the other guy gave as just as good as I did. I may have prevailed, but he fought hard like me. I have no choice but to respect that. These men battled for all the marbles, and they gave it to you. I knew that the fight could be special, but what I didn't know was who would be able to impose their game plan and take it to its fruition. And that's what Mel was able to do. So you have to respect that. Castano on this night brought what he could, and that was a hell of a lot. There are other fighters that would not have made it to that point in the fight that he did. Because of what he was able to put out, he would get somebody else up out of there. Salute to my brother Trick Noti out there. I see you, man. I see you, Trick. G5 with those emojis. I appreciate it, man. Rob Sportsman Lee. The wonderful thing about a fight like this, too, is what a shot in the arm of boxing with so much, of the sport that can be drugged down, right? But when you have something like this, the sport just elevates to a class that no other professional sport can be elevated to. Not even the Super Bowl. When you watch a great fight, it's better than any Super Bowl, any NBA playoff, any golf tournament, a hockey game, football. Listen, boxing, you know why? Because it's 101. It's the highest competitive circumstance, man against man. And they got those two hands. They got their brains. They got the training and conditionings and the rigors that they put their bodies through for several weeks. For this one night. competitiveness at the highest level. That's what it's all about, people. That's what it's all about. Derrick James is to be celebrated. His fighter showed levels, adjustments within the bout. I don't think Mel clinched in the first fight. I haven't watched it like that. But watching tonight, when he clinched right away, and then I saw him do it, I'm like, okay, that's an adjustment. Because you're doing something right now that some fighters feel too prideful to do. They think that that's a weakness. That ain't no damn weakness. That's a strength. Let me stop all this mess right now. Here, come and let me wrap your ass up. Huh? Ali wrap people up all the time. When you don't know how to do it, you can get hurt. Yeah. When you don't know how to do it, you can get hurt. He did it the correct way. Early in the fight, yeah, Castano got a couple of punches in there, but he soon started wrapping him up tight, clenching tight to stop all of that foolishness. And guess what? He bought himself some time. He had a breather, had a chance to slow the guy down, make the guy start all over again. Then he can move, have space. The toolbox was on display. Now, one thing I said about Mel Charlo, this was a few years ago. I think it was after his victory over Banana. I had remarked, no, it wasn't his victory over Banana. It was his victory, second fight over Harrison. That he carries his power late. There's not a lot of fighters who score knockouts that carry power late in the fight. The fact that he was able to do that talks volumes about his conditioning and how he puts on, how and what he puts on his punches, on his output. Because early in the fight, he threw some punches that missed, and it was like he was swinging for the fences. But the punch that really hurt Castano was a little short punch, probably less than 6 inches on the inside. In the 10th round. Wasn't that the 10th round? Yeah, I had to check, numbers. But yeah, 10th round. To put the guy down like that in 10th. Also, to be mentally strong late in the fight. Because some guys, salute to CB Sports, I see you out there, brother. Devin Blocker, Thrill Hill, sometimes when fatigue sets in, the mental will drift. Forget to keep your hands up. Punches start getting in. Technique is lost. But he was every bit as sharp in round 10 as he was in round 6 or 5. Now, Castano was a little more fatigued because he had to work a little harder, which is why I said the jab was so essential for him. He was doing good body work, but he would have fared a great deal better had he worked behind the jab. And the jab has to be a variation. Jab to the face, jab to the chest, jab to the stomach. Doubling up on the jab, occasionally tripling up on the jab, stepping in with it. Shooting a straight right hand off of the jab that you've been using in variation. Those are the aspects of boxing that will open things up for you. Now, Mel did it wonderfully, but Castano became basic with what he was doing, which is why Mel was able to tag him. Salute to Antonio Stewart out there who just subscribed to the channel. We appreciate you subscribing. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Stormybman's family. That's the kind of thing that is hard to convince people. When I say people, I'm talking about the fighters, these young fighters of today. Because just like guys in the NBA want to be seen hitting that three-pointer or with the highlight ESPN dunk of the night, that's some of the glitz of the sport, like a knockout or a knockdown. But that jab, man, that's the equivalent of shutting somebody down on D or executing your offense to perfection by moving the ball. Huh? You move the ball, you set a screen, a guy rolls, a guy picks, a guy stands up, he gets the rebound, or he, kicks it out for the shot or a layup or whatever. It's teamwork in that. When you're using your jab, that educated jab. Now, people will say that because they've heard the term and it's easy to throw it out there. But an educated jab is part of the arsenal of a fighter who is adept at variation of the jab and using it both offensively and defensively, and also being able to rest with their jab. Yeah, take a rest. You've heard fighters, trainers say something like, walk away. When they're in the ring, you walk away. That's killing a little time to get away from the opponent, not running, but to step and provide space between you. So now they got to catch up to you. But resting with that jab, you could see guys standing in front of each other not doing anything. But that jab, you can stick it out there. Pop. He can step to you. You can feint it and then hit him. Huh? Or he get ready to step to you. You feint like you're going to jab. You step back and then you hit him with the jab. You know who was a master of that? Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto had such a great off-rhythm jab that he often just frustrated an opponent because it was like when you think he gonna throw it, he don't throw it. And then you go for him and he throw it and he stop you in your tracks. And then he uses it again to be offensive, to follow up with some uppercuts or something to the body or whatever. And then he'll do it again and just move away from you. It's like Miguel was a master of that, and he figured it out in his career. I don't believe that his coaches and trainers were saying that to him, but he had the ring IQ to understand how it would work for him, and he would just implement it. Because earlier in his career, he fought a certain kind of way, and it was more of a physical thing. But as he stepped up the level of opposition and everything, and he's fighting fighters that are supposedly that were superior level or a level he hadn't achieved yet or whatever, he started using more tools of the trade, and he began to get that success off of believing in what he was doing. Sweet Daddy Kool-Aid, just subscribe. Appreciate you, Sweet Daddy. All of you subscribers this evening, I hope you're enjoying the show. This is what we do on the Post-Fight Show. We break these things down. But Stormy has a way of going about his boxing talk on a consistent basis, whether it's the Post-Fight Show, the Friday Night Chop Session, the Tuesday Tussle, or the call-in show. Jose Diaz says he should have used the jab more. I got to give it to him. He set up that knockout nice. Well, see, let me tell you something. Jose Diaz and chat and people that's out there watching, peeping through the blinds in the bushes. Because there's still some of y'all out there. Some of you got big names, big channels. Stormy is just a small fry, but I appreciate you being here because at least that means I'm saying something worthwhile listening to, whether you want to own up to it or not. Jose Diaz, when you don't seek the knockout, but you put work in, the knockout can come. Another old adage that people have heard spoken by trainers, but many haven't really paid attention to the message. Put the work in. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. I used to tell guys this in the gym all the time. Putting the work in. Working the body. Working combinations. And Mel worked combinations tonight too, people. He worked the hell out of some combinations. But you could take these two fingers right here and hold your forearm out and tap your forearm with those two fingers. Just tap it. Tap it. You ain't got to tap it hard. Tap it. Tap it. Do that for about 10 minutes. Tomorrow you will have a tenderness in that forearm. And you'll be like, man, what? You'll be done forgot that you was tapping your arm like that. But tomorrow when you feel that tenderness in the arm, you'll be like, whoa, why is my arm a little sore? It's because of the methodology of you just consistently doing something and doing something and doing something that it makes an impression. It's just like water. Water can drip on a spot until it starts to erode the spot that it's dripping on. Over a period of time, it can penetrate. It's the only known substance on earth that'll do that. Now, acid has an effect, but acid eats up everything. But water is the only substance that will penetrate over a period of time. Okay, we got another one subscribing to the channel. This name here, I'm not even going to call that name out because you guys are coming in with these names now. But welcome all the same. And if you hang around, we'll see if that's really who you are. Or is you a cop? Huh? Yeah, Stormy know about them too. I know about them. But what a great fight, man. What a great fight. Let me see a show of hands, numbers, whatever in the chat. If this fight gave you better action than you thought, than you hoped, that it was like what you had hoped for, but then some. You could put a 1 in the chat. You could put a thumbs up or whatever. Just let me know with a show of response what you felt about this fight. You can put 100, whatever, you know, because I'm going to go back and watch this fight again before I go to sleep tonight. You know, they did boxing proud tonight, man. They did boxing proud tonight. Hustler's Home, Dr. Professor. I see you. Daryl Alexander. Ratchet since 91. Sheena. Yeah. Ashley Crowder. William. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, man. Don't you have a different feeling after coming out of that? Rather than something controversial and the officials got in the way, the ref got in the way, the sanctioning body got in the way, the damn inspectors, you know, it's like there's so many hands be mixing in the pot of boxing that sometimes we just don't get what we should get. Tonight we did. Salute to you, Drew. I see you out there. We got both the Painful Excellence and Drew, the alter ego, I should say. Yeah, man. Mo Boxing. Yeah. We got like some great stuff, man. Great stuff. Andrew Gray says, not too many media sources are streaming the press conference like they usually do. It's weird. That's because, listen, man, they still mad about last week. Okay? Don't it make you mad if I had that button that Drew Titan have right now, the 100 mad? That's what they mad, huh? They mad. Because let's just put it like this, and I'm not trying to take it anywhere in particular, but I'm going to state a fact here. The past 3 weeks, the Latin nation has taken a hiding, huh? And they mad. But you have to say, Shakur Stevenson got Latin blood. It's true. And he kicked it off. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because the fallacy that they have been putting on people about certain fighters being up here and other fighters not being considered and stuff like that. Dude, all a person needs is an opportunity. And let them do what they will with their opportunity. You can freeze people out and not consider him and everything like that. Don't give him a chance. But when they do get that opportunity and they make the most out of it, like what happened tonight, you know what was on display tonight? Boxing, technique, execution, ring generalship, ring IQ, coaching. And it was on display by the guys that don't get the consideration. This man adorned himself with the American flag at the weigh-in and everything, but will he be celebrated as an American? Or is he just going to be considered another nigga? In 1963-64, Ali went over there and won a gold medal. Came back proud, brandishing his gold medal, wearing it everywhere he went. He went into a diner to get something to eat. He wanted a hamburger. He sits down, try to order a hamburger. They tell him, "We don't serve your kind here." Hometown, Louisville, Kentucky. A hero. He threw that gold medal off the bridge into the Kentucky River, man. It's down there somewhere. Probably all crusted and everything with, whatever builds up over metals and water over a period of time like that. It's down there. Yeah. Salute to Daryl Alexander out there in that Cash App. He says, for one, and still no USA chant, something to cook on. We appreciate you, Daryl Alexander, man. Thank you for your donation, man. Much appreciated. But you know me, I'm Stormy B, man. I'm going to say something about it, right? Because it needs to be said. It needs to be said. But see, as much as he adorned himself with that flag, they just as soon take that flag that he had wrapped on his person and they'd burn it because it touched his body. How about that? Is that deep enough for you? Is that deep enough for you? Do you understand that it don't represent you? Because you weren't even considered when it was sown. Salute to Daryl Alexander with that Cash App. Yeah. You know I'm going to tell it like it is. About the only thing that he did wrong leading up to this promotion and event, adorning himself that way. Because no matter how much you think you could do for it, bleed for it, They don't give a damn about you. And they never will. Salute to Walk 'em Down Ram, Big Steppin' out there in that super chat. He says, Cinco de Cryo has been great so far. We 3-0. Hashtag LDBC. Thank you, Walk 'em Down Ram, Big Steppin' for the super chat, bro. Appreciate you, man. William says, oh yeah, Stormy B, man, you always keep it real. You know I will. You know I will. Muharib Salam, just subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you, Muharib. Thank you for signing up for the Stormy B Man channel, man. See, it takes an act of faith to step out and be an endorser of truth. Huh? Truth. Not one's truth. Fact-based, evident concept. That has no color, people. It just is. The moment that a man or woman on this planet can walk and not see color, they have advanced to a different consciousness. But society does not want that to happen. Because someone benefits off of your noticing variety. Yeah. Variety. Notice I didn't say or use any of those other words. Because as long as there's many of us, there should be variety, right? There should be many different. Just like no two snowflakes are the same. Are they not still snowflakes? Junior Muniz just subscribed to the channel. Thank you for your subscription. Welcome. Welcome. Jose Diaz says, sad, but you're true. You're right. Boli Boli says, a lot of Mexicans adopted Castano this weekend. Well, how'd that work out? Well, I'll tell you this, Boli Boli. If they endorsed Castano based on his Latin backdrop and not the fact that he was a quality fighter, they deserve their disappointment. Now, if they endorsed him because of his boxing prowess and how he fights as a fighter, they can still find elation in the fact that he and Mel Charlo put on a classic fight tonight. You see what I'm talking about here? The difference. Two men fighting for all the marbles. Undisputed championship, 154 pounds, super welterweight, junior middleweight championship of the world. How many people in the world? 7 billion? 7.5 billion? Think about it for a moment. This is what we're talking about here. The snowflakes. This is why I can enjoy the sport of boxing for what it is, man. If I tried to enjoy it for what I want it to be, I'd be very disappointed because I want it to be without these corrupt officials, judges, refs, sanctioning body presidents and stuff like that. Promoters who hold shit up. Managers who run fighters through the ringer. See? I like to cook greens. I make a mean pot of greens, bro. But when you're sitting there and you separating the greens and getting them stems up out of there and everything, it's like, that's meticulous. But you have to do that to get that end result. That's what it's all about. That's what it's truly about. People need to understand. Josiah Matthews out there in that super chat says, keep cooking, bro. LDBC for life. We appreciate your donation to the channel, man. Josiah, we appreciate you. Boli Boli says, yeah, it was a lot of flag flashing. I was reading messages using the translate button. To each his own. Both put it all on the line. I'm happy to witness the fight. Anybody ever see the movie Gladiator with Russell Crowe? One of my favorite films. Remember how Caesar tried to put him out there? The whole thing was the war was over. Nobody left to fight. Caesar told him there's always somebody that left to fight. And then the new Caesar wanted to put him right back out there. And the point of the matter was this: a man of nobility, upstanding nature, character, will still find himself amongst wolves. But we learned something tonight for those who are disappointed, like I said, in the outcome, and those who rejoice in victory. There's a fine line between the two. You could easily find yourself on the other side, opposite of where you are presently. That's the real lesson. A17 Boxing B says, those men put on a great performance. Killmonger Charlo showed up tonight, not Tamara Charlo. Great fight. Great fight. And you know what? As far as where we are presently in this post-fight show, I think I gave the amount of time that was necessary to these two warriors. And they were just that, warriors. What a performance by both men. I believe that's pretty much enough, you know, and I'll cover the others later. Like on the call-in show, I think I'll talk about the call-in show in the morning. You know, I'll talk about the rest of the bouts and the other card. Because sometimes you just got to give flowers to people when it's due. You know what I mean? So that's what my intent was for this evening, and I can cover the rest tomorrow. You know what I mean? Salute to Sheena out there in that super chat. She says, I appreciate you, Stormy B, man. Thank you. And I appreciate you, Sheena, and everyone else who has given super chats, signed up for the channel as a subscriber, those who hit my like button. I think I have 165, if not counting, thumbs up on this evening's show. We were pushing close to 200 people in here at one point. That's great stuff for me. But I try to do my best when I do these post-fight shows. I try to do my best when I do all my shows. So if those of you who are able to come in for the post-fight, come in and check out some of the other fare that Stormy has going. It's of the same ilk. Huh? It's of the same ilk. I like to give you a moment to think about things. Think about them. I see you out there, young Hollywood. Salute to you as well. William, peace out to you, brother. Yeah. But I'm going to get on out of here and let you guys get your rest and everything. And I'll be back in the morning for the call-in show, man. 10:30 a.m. Central Time. Peace to everybody out there. Thank you for tuning in. Salute to the mighty LDBC. We out. Enjoy your night.